Go.
Oh, broccoli. Oh, we need basil.
I like how you said a pizza for the cameras, as if we have like multiple cameras going on.
Yeah.
Like this is a big budget.
I can't say going. Alrighty, dighty. Welcome to making a pizza the improvised way. Here we go. We cut up a few red onions, and we're going to put some kind of funky mushrooms in there. Don't know what kind they are, but they look pretty. We're going to put some Italian basil in there. Then we got some pineapple, and we've got some goat cheese and some mozzarella and some funky sun-dried tomato pesto and a couple other peppers. So I'm going to cut all these guys up and then we'll blend them together, put them on the crust, bake it for about 20 minutes at 450 degrees, and we'll call it pizza. We'll whack up some jalapeños, and I personally like to shell out the seeds, although I think you can eat them and everything will be fine. You won't kill over. I don't particularly have a great technique for it other than just to hull them out like that. Of course, then you got jalapeno oil on your hands, and be careful not to touch your face because it'll burn. So we'll cut up a few jalapenos, and I don't know if this technique is great, but it works. And so I like to cut them up in small pieces like that, and then I'm going to put it all together and we'll blend it and toss it about onto the pizza crust. Wheel them in there, or slide them in there. See, mushroom time. These are kind of a new item to me to cook with. We'll put some of those in there. I make a range of things. Some are recipes I find and improvise a lot. I kind of believe in that. I'm a musician as well, and I like to improvise with just about everything I do. So we've got jalapenos, we got some mushrooms, we got some red onions in there, and what else we need? Maybe some tomato. That'd be good there. And let's see what else. We got goat cheese. Could throw a little red pepper in there. Up some of these. Let's go with that, and let's do a little bit of pineapple. Stir it around in there so the ingredients are sort of nice and pretty. I'm going to make one from scratch, but for this video I think we'll go the safe way and use a commercial pie crust that you just, pizza pie crust that is, that you just put your ingredients and cheese and sauce in, and about 10 minutes later, from 475 degrees, I think you've got a pizza. But this crust is pretty good. We're not commercially sponsored by anybody, but I'll just say this is Boboli pizza crust, and I happen to like it. This is a local vendor-made tomato base. It's not really pizza sauce per se, but I thought it'd work. It's tomato and basil. And it has some garlic in there and a few other things that I think will be pretty yummy as a base for this guy. And there we go, we got it nice and opened. And so the first thing we want to do is spread our sauce as a base. Okie doke. So we got that in there. We want some cheese. Let's add some goat cheese in there. This is goat cheese with a little bit of pepper seasoning in it, which is pretty yummy. And we'll spread it throughout, and we'll top that with some mozzarella. I'm going to go ahead and warm the oven up. It needs to be about 450 for this crust for, I generally go about 15 minutes or so. I think there's some variance on that, so we'll preheat the oven. And let's put some mozzarella in there so we'll have a nice base of crust. And let's throw some basil in there. Again, this is just supposed to be Italian basil. I don't know how well, I'm sure it came from Italy. It's a It smells good. It smells very, very basil-y. So we'll tear up a little bit of it, and it should be pretty yummy. Oh, I forgot one other important ingredient here. This is some sun-dried tomato pesto that I picked up the other day that we think might be good in there. Let's put a little bit of it. Okay, now we are ready to top this puppy and put it in the all-important oven. So I've cut up a bunch of veggies, as you saw early in the video. So we'll spread a few of these guys all around here. Just kind of go around there and rake them in there. So it'll be pretty healthy. This is going to be a vegetarian, not a totally vegan, but a vegetarian pizza, and that we're not using any critter protein. And let's see, maybe a little bit more over here. And a little bit of shrooms in there. Maybe a little bit over here. We need to save some of these for our next pizza. And then last ingredient before we pop this in the oven is going to be some ghost pepper, I believe. I think that's what's in here. It's some really, some really spicy pepper that my wife came into that's quite yummy. It's also quite hot, and I'm a big fan of heat, so I'll put a little bit of this. Can be it's not the hottest thing on the planet by any means, but it certainly adds a good zing. And let's grind up a little pepper in there. This is like regular, just black pepper. I like to do that. And I believe we're about ready. I'm just going to clean this guy up a little bit with our remains. Gonna be good. Alright, so we're going to pop this in the oven. That's the before product. Picture there for the cameras. And we'll slide Mr. Pizza Crust in the oven. And as I said, I'm going to go about 15 minutes. And we'll show you what it's like through the miracle of editing. That is a pizza. And it has been a making of veggies, mushrooms, peppers, jalapeños, some red onion, pineapple, and goat cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and then some sun-dried tomato sort of pesto mix that I found that's pretty yummy. So that's our making pizza from somewhat scratch. Join me next time for another cooking episode.